The autumn wind rustled the leaves outside my window as I settled into my cozy apartment, looking forward to a quiet evening. With a warm cup of tea in hand, I decided to browse Amazon for a new book to accompany me through the upcoming chilly nights. As I scrolled through various options, a peculiar listing caught my attention, an antique leather-bound book titled Cursed Chronicles, Tales of the Occult. Intrigued by the air of mystery surrounding it, I clicked on the listing. The seller's description was detailed, mentioning the book's history and its supposed collection of eerie stories that spanned generations. The reviews were a mix of skeptics labeling it a gimmick and others raving about the spine-tingling tales within. Despite my better judgment, a sense of curiosity got the better of me, and I added the book to my cart. Days passed, and the book arrived in a package that seemed remarkably ordinary. I carefully unwrapped it, feeling the worn leather cover beneath my fingertips. The pages were yellowed with age, and an earthy scent wafted from its depths. It was a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, exuding the charm of an era long past. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I settled into my reading nook, casting a soft lamp glow over the pages. The stories within were indeed captivating, filled with uncanny occurrences and inexplicable events. They were so enthralling that I lost track of time, engrossed in the words that seemed to come alive on the pages. The distant sound of the clock striking midnight snapped me back to reality, and I decided it was time to call it a night. I carefully placed the book on my coffee table and headed to bed. But as I lay in the darkness, a strange sensation washed over me, an unsettling feeling that I wasn't alone. I shook off the unease, chalking it up to the power of the stories I had just read, and closed my eyes, determined to get some rest. The next morning, I woke up to find my apartment in disarray. Books were strewn across the floor, cushions overturned, and the antique lamp from the coffee table lay shattered. My heart raced as I tried to make sense of the chaos. Had I sleepwalked? Or had someone broken in? But the lock on the door remained untouched. As I surveyed the damage, a chill ran down my spine. The antique book, Cursed Chronicles, was missing. Panic clawed at my chest. I scoured every inch of my apartment, but it was nowhere to be found. How could it have vanished overnight? Days turned into weeks, and the unsettling feeling of being watched never left me. I began hearing faint whispers in the dead of night, distant echoes that left me sleep-deprived and anxious. Paranoia gnawed at my thoughts, and I started seeing fleeting shadows out of the corner of my eye. Unable to bear the anxiety any longer, I decided to confide in a friend about my ordeal. She suggested returning to the seller on Amazon and asking for an explanation. When I logged onto my account, however, I found no trace of the book's purchase. It was as if the entire transaction had been wiped from existence. Terrified and exhausted, I finally mustered the courage to call Amazon's customer service. But my conversation with the representative left me even more bewildered. The book's title was unfamiliar to them, and there was no record of such a purchase on my account. It was as if the book had never existed beyond the night it arrived. Months have passed since then, and I've moved into a new apartment. The whispers and shadows have faded, but the memory of that antique book and its vanishing act still haunts me. I've come to realize that some mysteries defy explanation, and that delving too deeply into the unknown can have consequences we may never fully understand. Working at Amazon had always been a dream come true. The promise of innovation, the allure of cutting-edge technology, and the convenience of modern commerce were enough to captivate anyone. Little did I know my dream job would turn into a nightmare beyond imagination. I was transferred to a new fulfillment center deep in the heart of the city. The moment I stepped inside, a chill ran down my spine. The air felt heavy, laden with an unspoken tension that seemed to hum with a spectral energy. The employees moved about like shadows, their faces tense, their eyes avoiding contact. The rumors were hard to ignore, whispered in hushed tones during lunch breaks. The building was supposedly haunted by the ghosts of the workers who had met tragic fates there. At first, I scoffed at the idea, chalking it up to typical workplace gossip. But as days turned into weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. Late nights were the worst. The hum of machinery took on an eerie quality, as if it were a lament carried by the wind. Walking down the dimly lit aisles, I often caught fleeting glimpses of figures in the corner of my eye, only for them to vanish when I turned to look. The walls seemed to absorb whispers that echoed in the silence, words I couldn't quite decipher. One particularly frigid night, I was assigned to the graveyard shift. The building was practically empty, and the distant sound of footsteps echoed through the cavernous halls. As I sorted packages, a cold gust of air enveloped me, causing me to shiver. I turned, expecting to see a door ajar, but they were all closed. That's when I heard it. A soft, distant laughter that sent a shiver down my spine. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice wavering. The laughter continued, growing louder and more maniacal. My heart raced as I followed the sound, turning down aisle after aisle. And then, I saw it. A figure dressed in tattered workers' clothing, its face obscured by shadows. "Why are you here?" I managed to choke out, my voice barely audible over the cacophony of laughter. The figure turned towards me, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. "You are the new one," it hissed, its voice a chilling whisper that seemed to reverberate through my very soul. "Join us. Become one with the echoes of the marketplace." Before I could react, the figure lunged at me, and the world around me twisted and warped. When I awoke, I was back in my office, sunlight streaming through the window. I couldn't shake the feeling that what had happened was more than a dream. As I logged into my computer, I noticed an email, a transfer request to a different fulfillment center. It was as if the company itself was trying to erase the memory of that nightmarish encounter. I accepted the transfer, grateful to leave behind the haunted fulfillment center. But even now, as I work at a different location, I can't shake the feeling that the whispers, the laughter, and the chilling encounter are not done with me. They linger, a reminder that even the most innovative and modern of places can hold ancient and paranormal secrets.